Star Wars Unlimited enthusiasts, welcome to round 2 of June 11 Star Wars Unlimited Locals Night over at Valkyrie Vault in Brownsburg, Indiana. If you guys are looking for a place to play some Star Wars Unlimited, check out Valkyrie Vault in Brownsburg, Indiana. Thursday nights, 6 p.m., $5 entry. And in round number 2, we got some more Vos Red gameplay. I love to see the Dryden boss coming out again and his fancy showcase, as well as the fancy art for, of course, the catacombs there that you only could get that art from mysteriously pulling it from one of the Twin Suns boxes that 𝐒𝐓𝐃 did for Star Wars Unlimited. And it is going up against Boba Red. A different take on Boba. We've seen now yellow and Eternal. I've done blue, and now we have red. I'm not sure on red. I still think there's debates on which one really is the best. I like blue for the Cad Bane Legendary. That's really nice. But I could definitely see red being more aggressive. Nonetheless, it's just about bounty hunters. That's all it is. And then Dryden Boss is tap them. You pitch a card that is cost 6 or more, and then you may play a unit from your hand paying its cost and give it that is 5 cost or less and giving it ambush for the turn. And then he flips on a 7 and you can do the exact same thing of action, pitch any card from your hand and then give any card you play ambush, which is pretty nice. Again, I think blue is probably still the best way to play Boss even in post rotation. He did take the heaviest hit when we rotated because he no longer has access to Palpatine's Return, which was a very strong card for it. But I still think blue is definitely the way to play Boss, personally. That gives you access to the Darth Vader from LOF. That's just very good when it ambushes out. It can destroy 2 things for the price of paying 6 resources with the ambush, especially once you get Boss on his backside. But I could definitely see red if you want to play more hyper aggro with him. But nonetheless, I still think that blue is just the way to play it. And Boba states on his front side of when a bounty hunter unit destroys one of your opponent's units, when a friendly bounty hunter unit destroys one of your opponent's units and does not have to survive combat, tap it to create a credit token. Then he flips on 5, if I recall. Yes, he flips on 5. And then does the exact same thing of when a friendly bounty hunter defeats an enemy unit, does not have to survive combat, you may then create a credit token. You may only use that ability once per round. So that is pretty much it. We got some ambushing against some good old bounty hunters. So let's see who will get game number 1 and overall of round number 2. Here we go, folks, for round number 2. We're going to start with a Haxion Aggressor. They're getting that nice raid 2 immediately coming down for the bounty hunter as well. We're going to go for Dryden Boss pitching the Maul here, and then we're going to go for a BT1. BT1 is going to be able then to attack, and then it's going to trigger its on-attack skill. It's going to ping the 1 damage against the Haxion before, of course, it has to hit itself because the effect of BT1 is mandatory there. So anyways, then, of course, BT1 is down, and then we're going to go for a Dengar. It's really cool to see automatically getting rid of the Haxion Aggressor immediately. But anyways, we're going to swing 2 damage, and then we're going to go for killing off the Dengar there, just stopping that one from happening. And then we're going to have the BT1, of course, deal the extra 1 damage. Then we're going to go for an Eager Escort in the sky there. No ambush there, just allowing it to have a 4-1 in the sky, which is not too bad to have at all. So anyways, moving on to the next round. So far, the Boba side has not been able to stabilize any board here, as we're going to have Reputable Hunters coming down here. And then we're going to go swing 4 damage. And then we're going to go for a Dryden Boss trigger. Then we're going to go for the Mercenary here to then allow it to melee, pitching a Nihilist to then allow the Mercenary to expend the Mercenary to come down with its giving itself ambush and allowing it then to die to hitting 3 damage to the Reputable Hunter there, and then allowing it to immediately get into the resources here. The Reputable Hunters are then going to swing for 5 damage here, and then we're going to have 4 damage coming in from the Eager Escort. So the one thing about Boss is you can see that their hand is very low right now. Anyways, we're going to go for the Boba Fett. Boba Fett, we're immediately going to be able to use Craving Power to immediately kill off that Boba Fett. Ooh, so good. Then we're going to go for a Craving Power to immediately kill off the Eager Escort. Yeah, the Eager Escort as well, man. What a turn there of all of that. So that was a lot of power coming down there with that card there. So pretty neat overall, but again, Vos does have the ability to flip. Boba is burnt out here. We are going to go for pitching of a Vader, and then we're going to swing out 000, and then we're going to trigger 000's effect on the attack. We're going to put the Vader to the bottom of the deck, dealing 1 damage to the base, and then the 000 is going to be able to kill off the reputable hunters. They're removing that from being a problem. We're going to go for a Maul, and then we're going to go for a Vos, and then Vos is going to swing 5 damage into the base there. Hey, look, one player had the Store Showdown Maul, and then this one just has the normal Maul. Again, I guess that's one reason to play in red is for that Maul. Unfortunately, Maul doesn't really have all that. So anyways, that just looks like a scoop up there. I'm not exactly... Oh, that was Haymaker. Sorry. So yeah, so what they did is they went Haymaker to kill off the Vos there, and then give itself an experience token. Of course, give the experience token and then deal damage based on your attack to one of your opponent's units. So that immediately kills off the Vos there. We didn't have a straight scoop up from the Vos player because they just aren't able to clearly deal with that Maul, because anything they play, the Maul can then overwhelm into it. Especially if they play 2 units, then the Maul can easily overwhelm to that, and then this turn that Maul can then swing 7 damage at the base. Again, that Maul's effect is that when it deals combat damage to your opponent's, after it attacks a unit and then deals combat damage to your opponent's base, you may take another unit and take control of it until that Maul dies. So that's kind of his little gimmick. He is allowed to take control of maybe 1 unit at most. He's not that good of a legendary, but he's kind of fun for his little gimmick. But nonetheless, Boba Law Red does get game number 1. Let's move into game number 2. Here we go, folks. Game number 2. Anyways, Vos is going to start off with a Syndicate Spice Runner, looking at the top 3 cards, and then grabbing an Underworld unit to their hand, going for the Strike Ship, and then we're going to have a follower of the code on the Boba side of the board state. Again, Boba needs Bounty Hunters to start getting those credit tokens. Interesting that game 1, we did not see any credit token creation on the Boba side. Didn't really matter. No Bounty Hunters were able to be alive for long. Anyways, so the Syndicate Spice Runner is going to do 2 damage to the follower of the code. That way, of course, it denies the follower of the code from being able to kill the Syndicate Spice Runner, and then being able to use Boba's effect there. So anyways, we're going to then play a 3-cost something in the Glare. Then we're going to go for the Strike Ship on the Vos side of the board. Does get raid 3. And then we're going to have 2 attack from the follower. It does get restored 1, but it will not matter. I don't know what was in that Glare. My guess would be a Dengar at best. Maybe... Oh, no, it's a Callous Hunter. Apologies. Anyways, it's a Callous Hunter. Again, just another Bounty Hunter. We're going to go for IG to 2000, then going to ping 1 damage, killing off the code, and then that's going to ping 1 damage to the Callous, and then we're going to go for Dengar. And then we're going to do 3 damage to the Strike Ship, and then 3 damage from the Callous Hunter to the base as well. So it's a very interesting game right now. Vos is playing more in the sky, and Boba's playing on the ground. The whole thing I just wish maybe Bounty Hunters had were some spaceships. It just feels kind of bad. There aren't really all that many like Bounty Hunter spaceships out there at all. Like your space front is completely just barren of Bounty Hunters. So the best way to, like, for instance, if someone brings us a trilogy, just best way to deal with it is just have a deck that is completely space-based. And then just go from there. So we're going to drop a Persecutor, and then we're going to drop the Benthic 2 tubes, and then we're going to have the Benthic 2 tubes go after the Dengar. That is going to be able to kill off the Dengar, then dealing 1 damage, of course, to the Callous Hunter, and then 1 damage on death. We're going to go for the Hunting Assassin Droid there. And then that's going to be able to get raid 2 as long as your opponent has a damage unit. Then we're going to go for the flip up of the Boba. And then we're going to have the IG 2000 swing 3 damage as well. And then we're going to be able to go for the Callous Hunter. And then, of course, 4 damage from the Boba, as Boba does have a raid 1 attached to it. So right now, Boba definitely has the damage advantage over Vos, as right now they're able to actually do a couple more things. The big problem is the Hunting Assassin Droid can't really do much right now because there's no damaged units right now. So it still doesn't have its raid 2, but the second a damaged unit comes on the board, that is going to be giving you a raid 2. Anyways, we're going to go for Vos. Vos pitching out a full Matrix. We're going to have the Quarren come down, and that's going to be able to kill off the Callous Hunter, and then that's going to be doing 3 damage to it. But that is a Sentinel on the board state right now, with Grit, by the way. So it deals back a whole lot of damage on the attack. Now, that does mean the Hunting Assassin Droid does have, of course, raid. That won't matter. That just died there. That should have gotten a... I don't know if the Hunting Assassin Droid is Bounty Hunter. It doesn't look to be Bounty Hunter. I'm not completely sure. It's kind of odd to see that in a bounty hunter strategy because typically you want to play more bounty hunters. Anyways, then we're going to have a couple swings from both the strike ship and the IG-2000 into the base here. I don't know what the Boba... oh, they played Maul. Maul has now appeared on the battlefield here, folks. Not that Maul is going to be able to do much. But if Maul does deal combat damage after defeating an enemy unit, it is capable of instantly being able to grab either of those spaceships as well, which is pretty nice. So we're going to figure out what we want to do here. Vos can, of course, swing here. They do have the initiative to do whatever they want here. They are up 1 more damage point on the Boba here, as we're going to swing for 3 damage from the IG-2000. In the base, we're going to go for Maul. And Maul just deals any combat damage. I thought he actually had to kill something. Oh, I guess no, it's just straight combat damage. Anyways, we're going to take the strike ship here, being able to then steal that. And that over, because as long as Maul is alive, then we're going to flip Boss, and we're going to go for a plot of the first light. That's one way to get rid of your own strike ship and take no damage, and being able to draw 1 card there, which is still pretty nice. Anyways, we're going to go for aggressive negotiations, mainly being able to kill off the boss there with the Boba Fett. Interesting, instead of swinging at the base for the aggressive negotiations, instead of going straight for that. So anyways, we're going to put out a 𝐒𝐎𝐍 Red as well, coming down to just put a little bit of a sentinel up on the board state here, just for a little bit of protection. Again, the problem is the Maul deals any combat damage. I thought he had to deal combat damage through a defender, the 𝐂𝐍𝐒 guy here, so that is a big problem here. Maul is going to be able to swing again, could take the IG-2000, which it is going to do. It's going to be able to do damage, and then grab the IG-2000, grabbing that completely here and being able to then use it. We're going to go for a Devastator, and then Devastator is going to be able to do 4 indirect damage, but that is not going to be enough. Vos Red... Sorry, no, Boba Law Red is going to be able to walk away with the win in the end. Alright, so I did check it out. I was completely wrong. Maul is just deal any combat damage to your opponent's base. You just get to take a non-leader unit. As long as that Maul is alive, you just get to keep that unit. I thought he actually had to deal damage with combat, like you had to kill a defender and then use his overwhelm skill to then ping damage. But nonetheless, it didn't really matter. In the end, Dryden Boss was not able to keep up with the bounty hunters, and I swear the Boba didn't even use his ability once. No bounty hunters were able to kill anybody and do anything. But it was very close in the end with that drop of the Devastator onto the ground, but it just wasn't enough to win it all. So guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments on the leaders, if you guys have tried them out in any color style that you've played them and tried them out overall. And while you guys are commenting, do make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you know when my videos go live for you. And we'll see you here next time. I'm Mom Dragons TCG.